Hold up. Did Erica Mena just blow the lid off Mendeecees' entire courtroom defense with a single testimony? Because what just went down in that courtroom was nothing short of nuclear. Hidden files, leaked audio, forensic experts dragging, receipts like it's a season finale of Love and Hip Hop Courtroom Edition? Yeah, it's giving scandal, betrayal, and career-ending drama. Now ask yourself this. What do you do when the woman you once played dirty turns around, marches into court, and hands the judge a folder so damning it makes your entire defense team flinch like they just saw a ghost? And not just any ghost. We're talking about the ghost of every lie you've ever told. Mendeecees thought he had it all figured out. Smug smile, scripted responses, and some suspiciously edited proof. But what he didn't count on was Erica showing up ready to torch the whole narrative, with files, dates, witnesses, and a digital trail that don't lie. Oh, and let's not forget the cherry on top, that one quiet courtroom mic that picked up way more than anyone intended. Grab your snacks, plug in, and don't even blink, because what Erica just dropped in court didn't just shake Mendeecees. It shook the whole internet. It started with a silence so thick you could slice it with a gavel. Erica Mena walked into that courtroom like she was walking onto the set of a season finale, poised, polished, and ready to detonate. You could feel the energy shift. Mendeecees was already seated, pretending to be composed, but the twitch in his jaw told the real story. Cameras clicked, reporters leaned forward, and the gallery braced itself, because what Erica was about to do wasn't just testify. It was annihilation, served legally. All week, whispers circled about what she had tucked away in her files. Hidden voice notes, deleted texts, secret footage from that infamous weekend in Miami. No one knew for sure, but when her lawyer opened that sleek black folder, jaws dropped and hearts stopped. Erica's voice was calm, but her words were daggers. She began recounting dates, times, and intimate conversations that painted a very different picture than the fairy tale Mendeecees had tried so hard to sell. She wasn't here to cry. She wasn't here to beg. She was here to expose. And the first bombshell? A leaked email exchange between Mendeecees and a mystery woman, time-stamped, geotagged, and dripping with guilt. Let's just say it wasn't about co-parenting strategies or Bible study. And if that wasn't enough to make the room shift uncomfortably, the second revelation came straight from a hidden drive Erica's team had submitted under seal. It contained audio files. Not just one, multiple. And they weren't grainy or suspiciously edited. No, these were crisp, clear, high-definition confessions that even made the judge raise an eyebrow. In one clip, Mendeecees is allegedly heard, bragging to a friend about keeping Erica quiet with hush money. The courtroom literally gasped. And we're not talking about your average reality TV gasp. We're talking full-on, dramatic, someone just saw a ghost-type shock. Mendeecees' attorney tried to object, fumbled over some procedural technicality, but the damage was done. The gallery was whispering, court reporters were furiously scribbling, and Mendeecees? He just sat there, eyes blinking faster than a broken turn signal. The judge leaned forward, asking for the file to be replayed. Twice. Erica stood silent as it echoed again and again, the words hush money slicing through the tension like a scalpel. Then came the financial records. Oh yes, because what's a courtroom drama without some spicy bank statements? Erica's team unveiled a string of unexplained payments. Thousands transferred from shell accounts, cash withdrawals just days before big media blowups, and a wire sent to a consultant who's allegedly tied to a known fixer in the industry. Now, we're not saying Mendeecees hired someone to clean up his messes, but, okay, we're definitely saying that's what it looks like. And while Erica testified, her tone never wavered. No theatrics, no dramatics, just cold, clinical delivery of everything she had kept silent for years. One juror even looked pale by the time she was halfway through. Meanwhile, Mendeecees couldn't sit still. He kept shifting, murmuring to his lawyer, shooting daggers across the room with his eyes. But this wasn't Love and Hip Hop. There was no dramatic music to save him. Just receipts, recordings, and reality in its rawest form. Then came the moment no one expected. Erica paused, looked the judge dead in the eye, and said, "I didn't want to bring any of this here, but I was left with no choice. I'm doing this for my child." Boom. Cue the sniffles in the back row. The courtroom shifted from scandal to solemn in seconds. This wasn't just juicy drama, this was personal. The judge nodded slowly, asked her to continue, and Erica dropped the final file, a confidential voice memo from Mendeecees himself, recorded by mistake on a shared device, where he allegedly admits to strategically discrediting Erica before the custody hearing. Oh, my God. The gallery exploded. Reporters scrambled to file updates. And Mendeecees? He froze. Just froze. His mouth opened slightly like he was trying to form a defense, but there was nothing. What could he say? The words were right there, echoing across the room, recorded in his own voice. And just like that, the entire courtroom turned. The sympathetic murmurs that had once followed him vanished. Even his own cousin, seated 3 rows back, couldn't hide the look of disbelief. Erica had not only flipped the script, she'd written a whole new season. And this time, she was executive producer. As the judge called for a short recess, Erica stepped down, not a single tear shed, walking past Mendeecees without a glance. But the damage? Oh, the damage had already been done. And the fallout? Let's just say the second half of this hearing was about to take things from messy to catastrophic. Because what came next wasn't just a war of words, it was the digital forensics bomb that made everything before it look like child's play. The courtroom hadn't even cooled down from the audio bomb Erica dropped, and already the next phase of destruction was being prepped backstage like a Broadway encore. When the judge returned from recess, his face said it all. Half disbelief, half concern, and maybe a little exhaustion from realizing he was now presiding over what might go down as the most scandalous courtroom drama since the OJ trial. But this next act? It wasn't about emotions or accusations, it was about hard digital proof. The prosecution's team calmly called their next witness, a digital forensics expert who looked like he'd never missed a keystroke in his life. Small glasses, neatly, pressed suit, and a briefcase full of receipts. Literal receipts. And the second he started speaking, the room went dead silent again. He pulled up metadata charts like they were exhibits at a tech crime museum. Every single file Erica's team submitted, consistent timestamps, verified origin points, matching device IDs. Meanwhile, the evidence Mendeecees' defense tried to sneak in at the last minute, let's just say it looked like a toddler tried editing audio with a microwave. The expert pointed out mismatched codes, broken encryption trails, and, this is real, 2 files with identical length but different waveform patterns, a dead giveaway of tampering. The judge leaned forward, clearly intrigued, as the expert calmly said, "These files have been manipulated post-recording, Your Honor. This suggests intentional alteration." Boom. Another courtroom gasp. Mendeecees' lawyer tried to pivot. Maybe it was a syncing issue, maybe a formatting glitch. But no. The tech guy held up a flash drive and said, "I have the original unaltered logs. We traced IP addresses, file access timestamps, and user histories. These weren't just touched. They were scrubbed, clipped, and re-exported under fake metadata." You could hear a pin drop as the judge looked directly at Mendeecees and said, "Is this the evidence your counsel submitted in good faith?" Mendeecees didn't answer. He couldn't. Because answering would mean admitting he tried to fake his way through the truth. The jury? Their faces said it all. Disgust, disbelief. One juror even shook their head and muttered something under their breath. But just when you thought it couldn't get worse, it did. Because Erica's legal team wasn't done. They called a surprise. Witness, a longtime friend of both parties, Tillman. Neutral, soft-spoken, and visibly nervous, Tillman took the stand clutching a folded paper. What he read made the courtroom freeze. It was a direct message, from Mendeecees to him, dated a year ago. "I need to shut Erica up before she ruins everything. If she talks, it's not just me who's done. It's the whole brand." The judge asked for verification. The forensics guy nodded. It was real. Sent from Mendeecees' account, confirmed by login IP and never deleted, just archived. Erica didn't even flinch. She'd known this was coming. She'd been living it for years. But now the world was hearing it out loud. Mendeecees, once the reformed ex trying to rebuild his image, was looking more and more like the mastermind, behind a calculated smear campaign. And Tillman, visibly torn, finished with a shaky voice, I wanted to stay out of it, but when he said it wasn't about the child, it was about his career, that's when I knew I had to speak. The jury stared straight at Mendeecees. No one looked away. Meanwhile, the media frenzy outside had reached Category 5. Tweets were flying, blog sites were updating every 5 minutes. TikTokers were already doing dramatic reenactments using AI voices. "Hush money?" one viral post screamed. "More like hush yourself before you wreck your legacy." But inside the courtroom, things were getting dead serious. The judge recessed again, not because he needed a break, but because he had to rule on whether or not to pursue contempt charges for submitting falsified evidence. Mendeecees' team tried to argue intent wasn't proven, but the judge wasn't buying it. The court finds credible indicators of evidence tampering. We will pursue a separate hearing on this matter. Mendeecees sank into his seat. And when I say sank, I mean physically shriveled. His shoulders hunched, his hands clasped, lips trembling. You could feel the panic radiating off him. Erica sat still, cold, focused. Her team whispered, but she said nothing. Her eyes stayed forward like she wasn't just in a courtroom, she was at war, and she was winning. The judge then turned the focus to the issue that had started this chaos in the first place: the paternity of Erica's child, a topic now buried under a mountain of lies, files, confessions, and betrayal. He ordered an immediate DNA test, voluntary, in name only, because any delay would now be considered an act of contempt. Erica breathed out a shaky breath of relief. Her voice didn't shake when she whispered, "Finally." The court adjourned, but the story didn't stop. Outside, press swarmed both sides. Erica walked out holding her son, giving the cameras a look that said everything without saying a word. Mendeecees? He slipped through a back exit flanked by lawyers and shame. That night, the internet combusted. Erica Mena just took the crown as the courtroom queen of receipts, one headline read. Another asked, "Is this the end of Mendeecees' redemption arc?" But the biggest shock wasn't what had happened, it was what leaked next. An anonymous social account dropped a raw audio snippet, unedited court audio, where the judge, off record, could be heard saying, "This child deserves better than this circus. He deserves the truth." And if anyone thought this was just a drama for ratings, that quote turned it into a national conversation. People took sides. One camp lit candles and hosted prayer circles for Erica and her child. The other begged for justice for Mendeecees with hashtags and old clips of him being a good dad. Meanwhile, the gossip blogs were deep in their fantasy phase. Which lab was doing the DNA test? Could it be hacked? Would the results leak? And then the visuals started. Erica posted a cryptic photo, baby socks beside a courthouse appointment slip, captioned simply, "One step closer to truth." Hours later, Mendeecees countered with a filtered sunrise over the Manhattan skyline and a caption, "New day for all of us." And with that, the stage was set. DNA Day was coming. And while everyone expected final answers, what they didn't expect was the last twist that would send the whole case spiraling one last time. DNA Day arrived like a presidential scandal. Cloudy skies, a frenzy of cameras, and enough bodyguards to make you think a royal baby was being born, not tested. Erica showed up first, calm, composed, dressed like she already knew the outcome. Her legal team flanked her like a power squad, and in her arms was the child at the center of it all, peaceful, unaware, and ironically the only innocent one in this entire circus. Mendeecees came in next, late, sweating, sunglasses on inside. The building, classic. He looked like a man preparing to hear either a death sentence or a miracle, and the courtroom buzzed like a beehive the second both sides were seated. A third-party medical team, court-appointed and guarded tighter than the Pentagon, was already waiting. No leaks, no labs paid under the table, no secret backdoor swabs. This was the real deal. The judge, back on the bench and clearly over the drama, reminded both parties. Any interference or media leaks during this process will be treated as obstruction. Erica nodded. Mendeecees swallowed hard. The swabs happened quietly. No cameras, no dramatic music. Just cold silence and the weight of 1,000 viral posts waiting outside that courthouse door. And then, everyone vanished. No statements. No interviews. Just a chilling, collective silence that sent gossip blogs into meltdown mode. Over the next 48 hours, theories exploded. Some said Mendeecees already knew the truth and had faked evidence to dodge accountability. Others swore Erica had doctored the timeline to embarrass him. Meanwhile, TikTok was on fire. People reenacting courtroom scenes, lip-syncing the judge's off-record quote. Hashtag DNA Day hit 80 million views before breakfast. Then it happened. The leak. Not the test result. Oh no, that stayed locked away. What leaked was a set of private messages allegedly between Mendeecees and someone named Kay. In them, he allegedly admitted, "If the kid's mine, I'll do what? I have to, but if not, I'm out. I can't raise a kid in this mess." That one message? It detonated the internet. Bloggers dragged him, fans flipped, celebs weighed in. Even verified blue checks dropped comments like, "You weren't saying that when you were in her bed, sir." Erica remained silent, strategic, calculated. Meanwhile, her PR team released a carefully worded statement. "Our focus is not vengeance. It is clarity for a child who deserves answers and a mother who never stopped protecting him." It was a hit. Public sentiment shifted hard. Support groups started hashtag campaigns calling her the mother of truth. But the Mendeecees? Camp? Chaos. His lawyer went on morning shows trying to clarify. "My client never denied responsibility. He simply asked for confirmation." But no one was buying it. Especially after a second message leaked. Erica's using this to stay relevant. She always knew how to spin a scandal. Boom. Social media exploded. And just when people thought it couldn't get uglier, it did. Because the test results came in. Officially. Under seal. And the judge called both parties back for a closed-door session to reveal the outcome before making it public. The courthouse was swarming. Reporters, protesters, fans, trolls. It looked like a red carpet for the truth. Erica walked in with her head high. Mendeecees arrived looking like a man headed to judgment. Inside, the judge's expression gave nothing away. Not a twitch, not a blink. He simply opened the file and read, and what came next changed everything. The child was Mendeecees', 99.9% match, no doubt, no loophole, no maybe. And just like that, the man who tried to dodge a truth bomb got buried by it. Erica closed her eyes just for a second, like she was finally letting go of a 2-year breath she'd been holding. Mendeecees, he didn't say a word. He couldn't. He just nodded, quiet, defeated. The judge didn't hold back. "You attempted to deflect, distract, and destroy credibility. But DNA is truth, and truth doesn't flinch." He then issued a secondary ruling. Mendeecees would be held accountable for emotional damages, legal costs, and mandatory co-parenting therapy. Oh yes, you heard that right. Therapy, supervised by the court, twice a month. And if he skipped, jail time. Real accountability. Real consequences. Erica's team exited with a quiet dignity. No smugness, no clapping, just purpose. But outside, her smile said everything. Not just victory, but validation. The crowd outside erupted. People chanted. Streamers went live mid-tears. YouTubers already had thumbnails ready. Mendeecees with red eyes, Erica in angelic light. The narrative had flipped completely. The man once trying to reclaim his reputation as a family man had just publicly proven he couldn't even manage honesty. And the woman who'd been mocked for attention-seeking just walked out as the symbol of maternal strength. But here's the kicker. That same night, a voice memo surfaced. Anonymous Dropbox link, quickly verified. It was Mendeecees, recorded weeks before trial, talking to a confidant. He said, "If she gets that test, I'm done. My name, my brand, my deals. Everything's cooked. I gotta find a way to control the fallout." Welp. Too late for damage control because the fallout was already a crater. Brands distanced themselves. Influencer collabs dropped him quietly. Podcast appearances vanished. The same media that once celebrated his comeback now flooded timelines with headlines like, "From redemption to ruin, the fall of Mendeecees." Meanwhile, Erica announced a partnership with a national parenting nonprofit, to advocate for parental accountability. She didn't just win, she leveraged the truth. And honestly, that's how you end a scandal. But here's what we leave you with, the real question. Why did it take court orders, forensics experts, and a nation's attention just to reveal what could have been settled with honesty? Why do some people only tell the truth when their back is against the wall? And how many others are hiding behind the same fake files, hoping no one ever checks? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Is this justice? Is this karma? Or just another example of how fame twists the truth until it breaks? One thing's for sure. When the swab hit the lab, everything changed. For Erica, for her son, and for Mendeecees, who now faces the one thing he never expected: reality. Subscribe for more courtroom chaos, exclusive leaks, and the stories they don't want you to hear, because this was just the beginning, and there you have it. One DNA test, one courtroom, and a lifetime of lies unraveled in real time. So now the question is, what happens next? Will Mendeecees finally show up as a real father, or is this just the calm before another storm of excuses, leaked voice notes, and emotional damage control? Will Erica take her win in silence, or will she use this spotlight to launch a whole new chapter? Maybe a memoir, maybe a docuseries, maybe just a few more viral Instagram captions that break the internet? Either way, this was more than drama. This was a full-blown reality check that hit harder than a reunion show slap. But now we want to hear from you. Do you think Mendeecees deserved all this public dragging? Or was he just another man caught in the trap of fame, fear, and foolish decisions? Was Erica justified in going full courtroom commander? Or did it all go just a little too far? And what would you do if your entire reputation hinged on one tiny cotton swab? Drop your wildest theories, hottest takes, and savage memes in the comments below. We're watching. And trust, the next scandal is already brewing. You know we'll be here to serve it up fresh, unfiltered, and with all the receipts. So, don't forget to like this video if you love seeing the truth blow up in real time. Smash that subscribe button so you never miss a meltdown. And hit that notification bell, because the next expose might just make this one look like a warm-up. This was Erica versus Mendeecees. And baby, the real tea has only just started steeping. Stay tuned.